Λοιπόν, γεια σας και πάλι. Μετά τη φοβερή επιτυχία της χθεσινής παρουσίας, με ξανακαλέσαν εδώ σήμερα να παρουσιάσω πάλι μια έρευνα και μετά να κάνω ένα πάρα πολύ ωραίο συντονισμό. Φυσικά, όπως πάντα, πρέπει να ευχαριστήσω από τη μία γωνία την Paisy Pro, την Paisy γενικότερα που είναι χορηγός εδώ πέρα, από την άλλη τη Yamtail στα δεξιά μου, μπορείτε να δοκιμάσετε τα ροφήματα. Δεν χάνω πάρα πολύ παραπάνω χρόνο, μπαίνω στην έρευνα. Και πριν δούμε την έρευνα, η σημαντικότερη διαφάνεια φυσικά είναι το ποιος είμαι εγώ, είναι αυτό που σας ενδιαφέρει πάρα πολύ και σας ενθουσίασε. Δεν βαριέμαι τα βιογραφικά, να διαβάζω τα short bios κτλ. Οπότε θα πω δύο πραγματάκια για μένα. Το πρώτο είναι ότι τα τελευταία 15 χρόνια η δουλειά μου είναι να ακούω. Άρα μου αρέσει πάρα πολύ να ακούω καταναλωτές, να ακούω πελάτες, να μεταφράζω αυτά που κάνουν για τα brands. Το οποίο μας πηγαίνει στο δεύτερο πράγμα, που σημαίνει ότι βαριέμαι πάρα πολύ να μιλάω. Οπότε θα το πάω πολύ γρήγορα για να μπορέσουμε μετά να χαρούμε το πάνελ και να ακούσουμε τους ομιλητές για τους οποίους ήρθατε πραγματικά. Η πιο βασική ερώτηση πάντα όταν μιλάμε για ροφήματα και αυτό που σκεφτήκαμε με τη Forum όταν ήταν η πρώτη σκέψη να κάνουμε μία έρευνα γύρω από τα ροφήματα ήταν τι ψάχνει ο καταναλωτής από τα ροφήματα στην Google. Και ο καταναλωτής ψάχνει τρία βασικά πράγματα για τα ροφήματα. Ψάχνει ροφήματα με, ροφήματα χωρίς, ροφήματα για. Ροφήματα με πρωτεΐνη, με άλλα συστατικά τα οποία θέλω. Ροφήματα χωρίς, προφανώς χωρίς ζάχαρη, χωρίς συντηρητικά, χωρίς οτιδήποτε άλλο. Και ροφήματα για το με πονάει το στομάχι, για το λαιμό μου, για τη γρίπη, για οτιδήποτε άλλο. Την αντίστοιχη έρευνα την κάναμε και στην Αμερική, ψάχνοντας εκεί τα λεγόμενα beverages, αν έχουν ακριβώς τα ίδια πάνω κάτω τον ίδιο διαμερισμό. Και στην Αμερική οι Αμερικανοί ψάχνουν το ίδιο πράγμα, έτσι, με, χωρίς και για. Άρα η δεύτερη λοιπόν έρευνα που παρουσιάζουμε σήμερα αφορά καθαρά το κομμάτι των διανομέων. Μιλήσαμε με 42 διανομείς, κάναμε ποιοτικές συνεντεύξεις, μιλήσαμε μαζί τους αρκετή ώρα. Την κάναμε την έρευνα πολύ πρόσφατα, μόλις τέλη Φεβρουαρίου τελείωσε και είναι πανελλήνια προφανώς, έχοντας από μικρούς έως μεγάλους διανομείς. Η πρώτη ερώτηση που τους κάναμε και ήταν ανοιχτή είναι ποια τα τρία πρώτα ροφήματα σε ποσότητες που διανύμεται. Προφανώς και νομίζω αναμενόμενο το νερό να είναι πρώτο, χυμή δεύτερη, τα αναψυκτικά τρίτα, λεμονάδα, πορτοκαλάδα, grapefruit, αναψυκτικά τύπου κόλλα πάρα πολύ ψηλά, τσάι, ενεργειακά ποτά και κάτι άλλο. Είναι σημαντικό να σημειώσουμε ότι στα αναψυκτικά τύπου κόλλα οι περισσότεροι ανέφεραν Coca-Cola. Και αυτό δείχνει ότι η Coca-Cola ως brand έχει πλέον καπελώσει εν μέρει την κατηγορία, όπως ήταν και τα Pampers που έλεγες Pampers και εννοούσαν όλοι Pampers, αλλά ήταν μια εταιρεία, έτσι. Η δεύτερη ερώτηση και ήταν ανοιχτή, δηλαδή τους ρωτούσα μια ερώτηση και οι ίδιοι οι διανομείς συμπληρώνουν όπως αυτοί θέλανε, δεν υπήρχαν δηλαδή προεπιλεγμένες απαντήσεις. Ποιο είναι το συχνότερο πρόβλημα που αντιμετωπίζετε στη διανομή? Νομίζω το πάρκινγκ είναι μια εξ ολοκλήρου και εξορισμού πολύ εύκολη απάντηση. Φυσικά, όταν έχεις αυτοκίνητα και πρέπει να διανύμεις από μεγάλους retailers μέχρι μικρή λιανική, το να παρκάρεις είναι το δυσκολότερο πρόβλημα με τα φορτηγά. Χαμηλή ζήτηση, τιμή του προϊόντος, αθέμητος ανταγωνισμός, πάρα πολύ ενδιαφέρον κομμάτι αυτό. Και ότι δεν υπάρχει κάτι 16%. Αρκετά μοιρασμένες απαντήσεις, με το πάρκινγκ φυσικά να τραβάει, όπως είναι λογικό, το μεγαλύτερο κομμάτι των προβλημάτων. Πόσο ενημερωμένοι πιστεύετε ότι είναι οι πελάτες σας, έτσι, οι λιανέμποροι, χοντρέμποροι, χορέκα κτλ. Γύρω από τον κλάδο των ροφημάτων? Πάρα πολύ νομίζω υποστηρικτική αυτή η διαφάνεια, δηλαδή οι διανομείς θεωρούν τους συνεργάτες τους ενημερωμένους, θεωρούν ότι ξέρουν αυτό που ζητάνε, θεωρούν ότι ακούνε την αγορά, άρα έχουν καλή γνώση του τι θέλει ο τελικός καταναλωτής. Ποιο είναι το συχνότερο χαρακτηριστικό μιας πετυχημένης συνεργασίας με τους πελάτες σας? Και νομίζω ότι η ταχύτητα εδώ είναι κάτι το οποίο θα το συζητήσουμε λίγο και στο πάνελ μετά. Είναι μαζί με την αξιοπιστία των παραδόσεων το γεγονός ότι θέλω κάτι, το θέλω άμεσα, το θέλω να έρθει στην ώρα του, να μπορέσω και εγώ να κάνω τον προγραμματισμό μου. Τα logistics και η διανομή άλλωστε είναι μια αλυσίδα μιας μεγάλης διαδικασίας. Το κόστος μετά, τα έτη εμπειρίας φυσικά, το οποίο εν μέρει εγώ το βάζω με την αξιοπιστία των παραδόσεων, άρα γνωρίζω να κάνω καλά τη δουλειά μου. Και κάτι άλλο όπως είναι η ευγένεια, που είναι πάρα πολύ ενδιαφέρον, το ότι η ευγένεια βρίσκεται εδώ, άρα δίνει και μια διαπροσωπική σχέση μεταξύ του διανομέα και των λιανεμπόρων, της χορέκα κτλ. Νομίζω πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα συγκεκριμένη διαφάνεια, γιατί δείχνει μια πολύ ωραία έτσι, διχοτομία που παρουσιάζουμε. Ρωτήσαμε τους διανομείς πώς νιώθουν τη συνεργασία τους με τις παρακάτω κατηγορίες επαγγελματιών. Και είναι πάρα πολύ ωραίο ότι με τους λιανέμπορους και τους χοντρέμπορους είναι OK, είναι ικανοποιημένοι, είναι χαρούμενοι. Με τους παραγωγούς, κατά βάση λένε ούτε ούτε. Και το ούτε η αλήθεια είναι ότι είναι λίγο αρνητικό. Όταν κάποιος λέει ούτε ζεστό ούτε κρύο, εννοεί μέτριο. Και το μέτριο δεν αρέσει σε κανέναν. Άρα οι διανομείς νιώθουν λίγο ότι συνεργάζονται καλά με τους λιανέμπορους, με τους χοντρέμπορους, όχι και τόσο με τους παραγωγούς. Ενώ αντίστοιχα με τις επιχειρήσεις χορέγα και με τη μικρή λιανική παραμένει αρκετά υψηλή ικανοποίηση όσον αφορά τη συνεργασία μαζί τους, παρά τα προβλήματα που μπορούν να αντιμετωπίζουν, όπως είναι το λεγόμενο πάρκινγκ που είπαμε και πριν. Έτσι. Πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα απάντηση εδώ. Αν χρησιμοποιούν συστήματα παρακολούθησης φορτίου για τα ροφήματα που μεταφέρουν, 93% όχι. Και αυτό είναι ένας δεύτερος αστερίσκος που θα κρατήσουμε στη συζήτηση μετά, όσον αφορά την υιοθέτηση τεχνολογιών. Δηλαδή, κατά πόσο προσπαθούν οι διανομείς να βάζουν την τεχνολογία σε αυτό που κάνουν, το οποίο είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικό και πάρα πολύ δύσκολο. Μία ερώτηση που αγαπώ και μία ερώτηση που η αλήθεια είναι ότι την περίμενα πάρα πολύ. Αν μπορούσατε να αλλάξετε κάτι στον κλάδο σας μαγικά, τι θα ήταν αυτό? Φυσικά το 90% αφορά το κόστος. Η τιμή, οι χαμηλότερες τιμές, σχέση ποιότητας τιμής κτλ. Είναι αναμενόμενο εδώ που ζούμε ότι ο κάθε παραγωγός, ο κάθε επαγγελματίας θα γυρίσει και θα απαντήσει ότι αυτό που με ενοχλεί τώρα είναι το κόστος, είναι οι τιμές, σε όποια μορφή και αν παίρνει αυτό. Και νομίζω ότι είναι μια αναμενόμενη απάντηση, η οποία δεν μας δίνει όμως κάτι παραπάνω, δηλαδή το τι θα μπορούσαμε να βελτιώσουμε σε αυτόν τον κλάδο. Και εδώ πέρα τώρα έχουμε κάποια πράγματα συγκεντρωτικά που νομίζω ότι αφορούν και τις άλλες έρευνες, γιατί αυτή η έρευνα έγινε σε παραγωγούς, σε λιανέμπορους, σε διανομείς αλλά και σε καταναλωτές. Και κάθετα βλέπουμε το πώς αξιολογούν οι παραγωγοί, οι λιανέμποροι και οι διανομείς τη σχέση τους με τους υπόλοιπους επαγγελματίες στον κλάδο. Νομίζω το πολύ ενδιαφέρον και που το είδαμε και χθες και μας άρεσε είναι ότι οι παραγωγοί με τους λιανέμπορους έχουν τη χαμηλότερη βαθμολογία, ενώ τα πάνε καλά με τους διανομείς και τους προμηθευτές. Οι λιανέμποροι δεν τα πάνε τόσο καλά με τους παραγωγούς, αλλά τα πάνε καλά με τους διανομείς. Και οι διανομείς δεν τα πάνε τόσο καλά με τους παραγωγούς, αλλά τα πάνε καλύτερα με τους λιανέμπορους, χοντρέμπορους, χορέγα και μικρή λιανική. Άρα, εν μέρει έχει μία πλάκα αυτό, το εγώ σε συμπαθώ, εσύ δεν με συμπαθείς, κάνουμε μαζί ένα κύκλο, ας πούμε. Και τώρα λέγοντας για κύκλο, αναμενόμενο είναι ότι στο κέντρο βρίσκεται η τιμή, έτσι. Είτε μιλάμε για διανομείς, παραγωγούς, καταναλωτές, λιανέμπορους, όλοι μιλάνε για την τιμή, όλοι μιλάνε για τα κόστη, όλοι μιλάνε για αυτό το κομμάτι του, αυτή την απίστευτη πίεση. Η βασική ερώτηση που θα πρέπει να απαντηθεί είναι ότι αν σε ένα κύκλο, ο οποίος κατά βάση επηρεάζει ο ένας τον άλλον, όλοι μιλάνε για την τιμή, τελικά η τιμή από πού ξεκινάει? Ποιο είναι το πρόβλημα το οποίο βάζει την τιμή να είναι τόσο ψηλά και επηρεάζει όλη τη διαδικασία από κάτω σαν ομπρέλα? Και το τελευταίο point, πριν περάσουμε στο πάνελ, είναι ότι όταν μιλάμε για τεχνολογία στην εποχή της τεχνητής νοημοσύνης, το να σου λένε 95% ότι δεν χρησιμοποιούν κάποια συστήματα tracking για τα ροφήματα και γενικά στη συζήτηση που κάναμε να φαίνεται ότι η επαφή τους με την τεχνολογία δεν είναι τόσο καλή, είναι λίγο σαν να πυροβολούμε τα πόδια μας. Μπορούμε να γίνουμε καλύτεροι, η τεχνολογία είναι εκεί, δεν την εκμεταλλευόμαστε εμείς. Οπότε, χωρίς να χάνω παραπάνω χρόνο, εδώ πέρα, άμα θέλετε να με ακολουθήσετε στο LinkedIn, είναι ένας σύνδεσμος για να μπορείτε να με ακολουθήσετε εκεί πέρα που μιλάω αρκετά, είναι αλήθεια. Θα ήθελα να καλέσω και θα το γυρίσω στα αγγλικά. I would like to invite Tomas Kofron, Αλέξανδρος Παναγούλιας, Karol Chamera, Νίκος Καραγεωργίου and Γεωργία Καρούκη. If you can come up to the panel so that we can start the conversation. Στα παγωτά. Distribute them just randomly. So, we're going to start immediately. To be honest, I hate reading boring CVs. I really hate them. So I think that it would be a lot better if you introduce yourselves, like in 1 minute, say what you want the people to know about you. Nikos?
Good morning. My name is Nikos Karageorgiou. I'm the head of category management in World Market Grace. My experience comes mainly from the FMCG sector. The last 8 years, I focus in e-commerce. And in simple words, I spend my days figuring out which products do consumers want to buy and making sure that they have it in about 20 minutes in their houses. I specialize in partnerships, pricing, assortment, and it's a real honor to have the opportunity to be part of this panel. Thank you.
So good morning. My name is Georgia Karouki. I work in the spirits and beverages industry for 28 years this year. And I think and I find that it's one of the most fun and interesting industries to work in, especially in marketing, which is my sector. I always say that my first saying is that it's one of the most interesting sectors to work in. The second one is that we are a small sector, so everyone knows each other. The proof of that is that I already know two out of the people participating in the panel, and I know them for many years. It's my honor to be here, and I find this evolution of the exhibition becoming more international and more global extremely interesting, both for the sector and for the products that are represented and presented here today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karol. I'm from London, from a company called Mr. Lemonade. We are drinks and beverage supplier as a one-stop shop to HoReCa and the food service. We try to bring innovation to our customers and create partnership with the brands to create the growth on the market space.
Hello, good morning. I'm Tomas Kofron. I'm from Czech Republic, from Prague. I'm co-founder and marketing and sales head of the Greenheads, which is a distribution company for the retail and food service, HoReCa, for the trendy, cool, disruptive drinks in Czech Republic.
Καλημέρα σας. Είμαι ο Αλέξανδρος Παναγούλιας. Είμαι ο Ιδρυτής. I'm switching the language. I started with Greek, but so I'm the founder of Yamtails. Pretty much we are doing the same, like Tomas and Karol. It's a source of inspiration, actually, because they're doing for slightly more years. Karol, I think, for you are older than both of us. So for us, it's our mission to introduce the Greek market innovative beverages and to educate the market for more healthy options.
All right, so as you can see, we have a pretty diversified panel, so I will try to keep my questions accordingly. Nico, I will start with you. We saw in the research that delivery speed is crucial. You know, how do you leverage that when speed is also connected with human lives, meaning you have humans delivering for other humans. So we have to be, you know, protecting our people, but trying to also satisfy the customer. How do you find the balance in this?
First of all, it's very nice to see that the findings of your survey actually match with the way we have adjusted our operational model. So what we know and what is also a learning from the survey is actually people don't want to spend time by waiting in queues to have their products. So whether it's a need for hydration, a need for energy, a need for wellness in general, they want to find instant replies. But speed is just one parameter of the whole experience. Additionally, we should ensure that we actually give replies to the needs of the digital era, I would say. So there is a real shift from mass delivered products, I would say, to more functional ones. People are highly influenced by what they see in social media. We're following the social media. And in world market, we want to ensure that we give space to new brands that may not have very wide distribution in traditional supermarket chains. But since the audience of e-commerce and world market is specific, it's very relevant to their brands. We give them space in order to leverage their growth very, very soon.
You've been working in this sector for 28 years, which is really strange because you are 32, so you are working from the age of 4.
Thank you, yes.
How do you see this industry changing, especially after 2020, where everything changed? How do you see the changes in the way that you operate?
We see changes that are global changes and changes that are local changes and pertain to the specific Greek market. We are a sophisticated market to begin with, so the international changes do affect us quickly, and we do follow the international trends on a timely basis. We've seen that there are key trends, two key trends. One is the trend for sustainability. The second one is the trend for healthier options, which are affecting our whole industry, the industry of beverages. Consumers are opting for products that are better for their health, whatever better means, and that's very personal to the consumers. So this leads us to another path of our discussion about customizable drinks, tailor-made choices for consumers. And the other very big trend, which is affecting every aspect of economy and commerce, is of course sustainability. So do consumers, being sovereign consumers, are opting for products that are not harming earth and are not causing damage while produced and consumed. These two major trends can derive a multitude of smaller trends, which we analyze in marketing for beverages, and we do apply in the marketing plans depending on the category, depending on the product, the positioning of the brand, and of course the target group we want to aim at. But I identify these two big, huge trends as all-inclusive.
Karol, Nikos made an interesting point about the consumer and how their preferences change. How do you think this affects the way that you operate in trying, for example, talking with HoReCa and becoming a business partner? How do you think you are offering value to the retail, to the HoReCa people, from your point of view?
That's a good point. Potentially Greece is different than UK. What we see in change in terms of customer perspective, what they expect from a wholesaler is to creating solution where they have one-stop shop. They don't want to deal with multiple suppliers and brands to buy individual direct. They want to have a one supplier to do one. Speed of a service and speed of delivery is crucial, but at the same time ability to have innovation of the products. They all want to stand out. They don't not all want to have the same products. They don't want to have the same lemonades or or milk alternative from their neighbors next door. They won't buy the same product if it's stored or sold in Tesco because they know the customers will come and just buy a sandwich from them and they go for a product to Tesco just because it's 50% cheaper and it's on sales. So innovation is very important.
Tomas, from your point of view, I'm going to read you the same question I asked Georgia. After 2020, how did you see all the things change, through COVID and e-commerce exploding? How did you experience this from your own point of view?
I think that people don't want to be bullshitted like with the stuff, so they want better products for fair price. That's, from my perspective, the biggest change. So actually all premium brands and products which are also with sustainable, great packaging, great flavor, great ingredients are growing because in general consumers, they don't want to pay too much for products that are not value. And also they are more health cautious, definitely. I think that a lot of people find out that they are not treating their body well after 2022. And in the last years, we see the growth in this category mainly.
Alexander, you talk a lot about adaptation and innovation, because yesterday we had this talk. How do you see this affecting the way that you are operating in terms of your, the last mile, for example, in the HoReCa, from your point of view?
The Greek market and the HoReCa sector that we mainly are focused, it's extremely fast-paced. We have the Greeks, that they have specific patterns, I would say a little bit more conservative, not so open to taste or experiment. The youngsters, they are a little bit more open. But we have also the tourists, so 10 million of Greeks and 35 million of tourists. So it's a blend of consumers that we need to adjust, to hear and to understand the market. And I think the HoReCa outlets in the Greek, it's a dynamic channel that seems to get really mature. We have seen it in coffee. the sophistication in the coffee, it's amazing. And we see that they're really, really open to create space in their fridges for clever options, because they see that Greeks and all the tourists that are coming in Greece, they are seeking for something different. They seek for solutions that they are not, let's say, only the supermarket, that they are used. I think it's something for our, let's say, what we offer as a country in our touristic, let's say, package. I think one of the issues that we faced in the past, we had commercial brands in very well-known islands in high prices. I don't think that anyone is stupid giving 7-8 euro for a soda that is in the supermarket for €1. So it's mandatory to bring better value options and to improve our total offering.
Georgia, I'm going to take it back to you because you made an excellent point. You talked about sustainability, and we are seeing all around, the prices. Everyone is complaining about price and cost. So on the one hand, you have sustainability, a very ethical and just cause, and on the other, you have, a profit margin. How do you think we can balance between these two?
Being profitable is also, at the end, it serves the purpose of being sustainable for a business, right? And we have been trained, and we should be trained, to think about how we can differentiate our offering. And Alexandros touched about that just before. We need to be able to differentiate our offering if we want to be able to charge a premium. And by differentiating this offering, we're talking about what I mentioned before, tailor-made products, unique products, products that are designed with components that are unique to a specific location, specific islands, specific countries, so that we can offer a unique experience to the visitors, to the consumers, who will understand why they could consider paying a premium for that product, which is not massively distributed and it's not available everywhere.
Nico, I'm going to have the same question for you, especially if we're talking about fast deliveries. How do you balance between being profitable, keeping up your promises, and being sustainable at the same time?
It's a very good question. It's actually the $1 million question, or $1 million question. I think the answer is to be efficient in the decision-making of your assortment. What was also an outcome of the survey is, especially for the beverages category, people in many cases prioritize taste or the functionality of the beverages prior to price. So it means that if the retailer is efficient and has developed very trustworthy relationships with their vendors, it's very, very possible to have the right assortment which the consumers are ready to support. This is one of the biggest challenges we faced in e-commerce in general, I would say, since the space is always limited. So, as a tech company, we have the opportunity to deep dive and track in real time the consumer trends and adapt our assortment accordingly. And this is, I could also say, one of our biggest requests to the markets, because the model of e-commerce is an on-demand model. It means that we cannot stock thousands of products for many, many days. So what we ask is smaller and frequent deliveries. This will allow us to be flexible and make the needed changes in order to be always at the heart of the trends. Additionally, I would say that we are expecting very to the point, I would say, proposals from our vendors, and they have to overcome the perception of mass products, of products that are already very, very popular, and adapt soon to the new trends that are emerging. Consumers, and especially consumer of smaller ages, have shown in practice that they support these proposals, and this is the secret and this is the key to offer the right products that can at the same time offer the request margin levels for the retailer.
Karol, I'm going to keep the same question for you as well, because obviously you're operating in London, and I think you said that. So I think that the sustainability factor has been in your life for many years now. So how do you leverage being sustainable and keeping your profit margins?
Look, to be honest, very problematic questions. Obviously, being sustainable, we have to look on the prospect, what the brands comes up with, the packaging, if it's the right packaging for the consumer, and how our customers behaving across opportunities. If they compost products, if they biodegradable products, depends what they're looking to purchase. Obviously, cost of products sustainable and biodegradable comes in the price. So majority of our customers are already experiencing and have this demand from their consumers that they're asking for specific products to be in the right packaging. So they're charging the right price. At the same time, they have to expect us that we have to deliver the goods to them at the right value. So, it's a bit of balance. We try not to be very expensive. Obviously, we all have to make a living out of everything. We all wholesalers and suppliers. We have to work with the brands, but people have to understand that we all have a cost, and we have to demand in order for us to be profitable and continue support.
Tomas, how about you? How do you view this the same issue?
The topic of this discussion is value or volume, right? So technically, I think that it's important for us as a distributor to HoReCa to understand our value. Like Alexandros has amazing products over there. We have quite similar brands, some of them. And our value, for example, for cafes, restaurants, is actually helping them to get the client, to get the marketing vibe, to get the trend. And because of that, they are capable to pay more, even for the distribution or for the service, etc. And this is how we keeping the margin. So, of course, for us is then challenge to understand when the new innovative product change for the commodity, for the volume. In this moment, we are handling volume, and we need to be flexible with the sizings, volumes, and discounts, and packagings, etc. So that's our goal, and this is how I understand that, to keep the margin ourselves, to have the right combination of the value and value products.
Alexandra, how about you?
Extremely difficult equation for HoReCa business that we serve, because relationships with the decision makers in the HoReCa industry is totally different versus a relationship with Walt, for instance, with Nikos. Nikos made a decision and it's pretty much stable. He will give time to the consumer, he will build the category. The guys that we're discussing and we're serving, the cafe owners, they decide with different criteria about their selection, their portfolio, and they don't want to have commodity products, as Tomas said. So if a product is fresh, and despite having a successful product in their fridges or at the back of the bar, they will switch it because they would like to have something unique. So it's extremely difficult for us to always understand their needs, to bring new innovative products, to control stocks, and to be one step ahead. It's extremely difficult. I think Georgia can understand a little bit the case, but for us, serving cafes, it's a nightmare. It's extremely difficult. It's Nico said quick deliveries, but quick deliveries just open. They do not have plant-based milk. They cannot operate. So we need to be agile and deliver plant-based milk. So this is costly, believe me, to send for, I don't know, an order of 50 euros. So it's extremely difficult.
I think it's very interesting, the different point of view that we see here in the panel. You talked a lot, all of you talked a lot about the consumer preferences. Like what the end consumer wants is what we have to adjust to. Obviously, the ones who are paying are the ones who are making the decisions, right? Yesterday, the producers claimed that the end consumer is not informed about beverages. Like it was 50-50. 50 they don't know, 50 they know. Karol, I'm going to start with you. Do you think the end consumer is informed about beverage? And if not, is it our job to inform him?
I don't think so. The consumer is informed well enough from perspective of the brand. And on the other hand, a lot of brands rely on distributors to pass this message in order to educate the consumer or a buyer about the product.
Tomas?
I think that they are not well informed, but actually the cafes or restaurants are one of the best places to be informed because there are people who are speaking to people. I think the social media vault, we work with the vault as well in Czech Republic. They are using our cool trendy products to educate people in the new trends and new categories because it's easier when they can buy it quickly. So I think that they are uninformed, but actually we are partly responsible with our customers to inform the end clients.
Alexander, you also answered this yesterday, but I want you to make the differentiation between the end consumer and the HoReCa client, because you have an idea of both, and you saw also the research.
The boss is the barista. The barista is the one, okay, I would like my coffee like this, do you know that product? I would like a matcha latte or whatever. So it's a face-to-face business. So they have the power. They can explain, they can, let's say, propose, suggest. I think for us it's really, really critical to educate the barista community, to educate the cafe owner, how they need, first of all, to make the right selection, because they need a selection of innovative products in order to bring more value, and of course mainstream products, because this is a reality. And we see that there is a community around all this, and we are close to the communities. We give the opportunity to taste. It still remains the king in what we do in the HoReCa sector. That's my point from my side.
Georgia, do you think that the end consumer is informed or is not informed about beverages?
It relies. It relies on the nature of the multitude of the products. There are so many products, and it's very difficult for consumers to be educated on everything that's available. However, we need to think of the available media, the new media, the social media, the channels of communication that anyone can get as much information as they want, when and if they are interested in researching. By media, I would also like to include what's already mentioned in the faces of the baristas, the faces of the sellers in the HoReCa business of those products. They are a community, as Alexandros said. We can treat them as a medium, we can treat them as influencers, and we can start by educating them and expect that if they feel strongly about a product, if they believe in the attribute of the product, they will talk to the end user and relay that information to the end user, promoting our brands in the best possible way, being brand ambassadors, as we call them. It is a costly project. They won't do it for free. It pays off, it has results, and the more we believe in the quality attribute of a brand, the more we need to support it in that way.
Nico, I kept you last on purpose because I think that you have a lot of experience with the end consumer. So do you think that they are informed? And if not, is it your job to inform them around beverages?
Absolutely. It's a responsibility. My perspective, it's a bit different. The core target group of e-commerce and of world marketing specific are aged between 25 and 35 years old. The second biggest age group is from 18 to 25. So we're talking about youngsters who actually love well-being and love brands. We see that beverages is one of the categories with the highest growth, and functionality is the answer behind this change of paradigm. As I told in the beginning, it's a responsibility of the retailers and of the brands as well to educate the consumers. Just imagine that Walt now is something like a super app, so it can cover different needs, but it's very, very relevant to people that they live in practice in digital era. And more than this, we're talking about foodies. The main reason that someone actually downloads for the first time the app of Walt is in order to have food delivered in his or her house. So we're talking about youngsters who love brands, and we're really seeking for new proposals. And beverages is one of the categories that they are interested in the most. So I find here a great opportunity for the brands. There are several of marketing tools, several ways to target the right consumer. We have the data needed in order to go to personalized offers and offer actually products to people that are really connected, can be really connected with these brands, and for those, for people that the brands are very, very relevant. So I think a cooperation between brands and retailers is the answer to the education of the consumers.
So I have one more question, and I think this is the most difficult one. Tomas, I'm going to start with you. You have a magic wand, and you can change whatever you want in the beverage sector tomorrow. What are you changing and why?
What I would change in beverage sector?
You can change whatever you want. The wand is magic.
I think I would change the transmission that is going anyway to be a little bit faster, and that's connected with the young people, which is more quality products, less sugar, less chemicals, more natural flavors, and it going this way, more functionality. It going this way, but it could be faster.
Alexandre, what are you going to change?
I think Tomas covered, I think, because he started with a magic wand and he changed the world. The world is changing, and I think we cannot do much on that. The youngsters, they have already making their decisions. It's pretty clear from what we see that they select healthier and more sustainable options. So it's not magic, it's reality. And reality, I think we'll see it continue this trend. It will continue to grow all this sustainable, healthy trend.
Nico, what would you like to change in the beverage sector magically tomorrow? What would you do?
To be honest, I don't have something specific in my mind, but what I would like to see is to start seeing more and more vendors discovering the opportunity behind e-commerce. We have several dozens of cases of vendors that are actually believed from the first steps in commerce, and now they enjoy the success of this strategic decision. So I would like to see more examples like this, and I'm very, very confident that they will be very happy with this kind of decision.
I think that you are using the wand, and you are asking for really, really feasible things that are happening. Georgia, I'm going to give the wand to you, and I hope that you're going to surprise us.
You asked for it. Imagine if we could have a global system to note down on every beverage product the ingredients, the nutrients, and what goes in the product in a meaningful way for consumers around the earth. Imagine what would do for exports. Imagine what this could do for really timely information consumers require for what goes into their drink.
Yeah,
You asked for magic.
Yeah, you came with blockchain technology. Nice. Last but not least.
What I would change, potentially, I would create a massive taxation and representations to the commercial brands to give a space to innovation, to bring those new brands, new products, new minds to younger generations and get rid of those names that we already familiar with, Coke, Pepsi. Get rid of it. Simple as that.
I think that we mentioned this yesterday. We said that the market is free, but some people are a little bit more free than others. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Thank you.